What's up, y'all? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. What you call it? So today we coming at you with the card of the day. Now, today's card, we got two of them. We got the Six of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. And what I find so interesting about these two is that they come together. So first off, we're gonna go like that. Okay. One of them is Aquarius. The other one is Capricorn. One is an air sign. One is an earth sign. But the air sign in Aquarius, it says transition, letting go of hatred, which I can identify with, moving on, leaving behind relief and journeys. Someone take a second to talk about this one real fast. So when it says leaving behind hatred, okay? Now, there are lots of things you can weigh yourself down with. You weigh yourself down with money. You weigh yourself down with items. You can weigh yourself down with a relationship. You can weigh yourself down with lots of things. Duties, right? Things that you feel that no matter what you do, you gotta have that. You gotta do that, right? I mean, you're leaving that behind. You're letting go of the hatred of that. Okay, so I'm talking to somebody strong. Okay, so you have endured the whipping boy syndrome, right? You have given to your opponents or your ops as much as you can give. You've done everything you can to try and make not your dream, but somebody else's dream happen, because you find peace and happiness in making other people peaceful and happy. But you're going through a transition, and you're going to let that go, okay? You're going to let go of the hatred, of the pain, of the guilt, of the stress, and you're going to find relief, okay? You're going on a journey and leaving behind something, okay? And the answer to any question you want to ask is yes, okay? Now, that's only to come up with the maybe in the Two of Pentacles, but I want to explain that to you. So your answer is still yes. So just because we get an answer, just because somebody approached us, just because something happened, doesn't mean that that has so much bearing on what we do as much as we have a bearing on what we do. And your journey and your leaving stuff behind is leading you to find balance. You're finding time management, adaptability, priorities, and making a choice, okay? So if you find balance, which you will, okay? This is grounded in earth, so you will find balance in material things. The other one was in air. Transition, letting go, hatred, moving on, leaving behind. So that has to do with the communication, okay? So chances are you're tired of all the people in your ear. You're tired of people taking what moments you have of happiness or what moments you have of relief or relaxation and throwing them back at you and making you feel guilty, that sort of thing. And what you're moving on to is finding balance. Because you had so much time of going from feeling good to feeling bad, okay? Because you had so much time of going from feeling like your goals were accomplishable and you were happy to feeling like well, you might just be full of shit, so to speak. Like you might just be making it up in your head. Uh, with that time management and that finding balance, I mean, with the time management, you're gonna find balance, so you're able to achieve anything you want to achieve. You need to have adaptability though, but that comes with balance. Okay, you have to juggle both sides, the good and the bad. You have to understand that the bad is leading to your good. And I don't know how to explain that to you except for with the word faith. Okay, so maybe you might have faith, and if you do, then you're going to find balance, and it's probably going to be due to that time management. But the only way you can have time management is through adaptability. You need to prioritize and make a choice. So what I tell you, what I tell myself is, you need to sit back and you need to do the classic thing that I hate hearing, and because who knows what's going to happen 5 years from now, right? But theoretically, you're supposed to plan for it. You're supposed to have an idea of what it is you're moving towards. And with me, I just go with God, and I don't worry about tomorrow. I worry about today, and I go by the seat of my pants. It's just how I am. But at the very least, you know, they talk about a dream board or manifestation board. They talk about having things in line so that you can manifest them, so that you can be moving towards the goal. And I say that if you're like me, then maybe you ought to figure that out. Maybe. And maybe you need to try. Like maybe you need to, for the first time, give it a try. Write it down, figure out what it is that you want. I'll have to do that myself once I get off of here. And then through that balance, so when you figure out what it is that you want, you'll be having to weigh the goods and the bads. And the only way for you to figure out what you want is to move on from the past, to let go of it, let go of the hatred. Once you figure out what it is that you want, you can find balance, good and bad. And the adaptability, that if you choose to, the adaptability that you can go through to make these things happen, right? Like the adaptability that you have to have in order to make these things happen, the time management, all brings you into balance, right? And so the reason why I say you go from a yes to a maybe, but the answer is still yes, is because you have to let go of the outcome, okay? I'm sitting here homeless in my Jeep right now. It is cold as balls outside. I was sitting here with the window down and the car off. Like, I live in Alaska, okay? And these things are serving to make me strong, okay? Having to sleep in my Jeep has made it to where 18, 19, 15 degrees feels warm to me, okay? God prepared me for that. I understand that now. I didn't understand that while it was going on, but I understand that now. So I can sit here comfortably, right up to about 10 degrees. 10 degrees, I got to put a thin blanket in my lap. And if I do that, then I'm good, okay? What you call it? God prepared me for that. So these things that you're moving on from, this hatred that you're leaving behind to go on this new journey, you've been prepared for this new journey, okay? A lot of times things happen without you knowing, okay? A lot of times things prepare you so that in the midst of, because I'm not talking, against y'all, for y'all, nothing like that. I say 10 degrees, you probably shiver, okay? I say 20 degrees is comfortable, you probably think I'm crazy. Okay. Maybe it's the beard. Maybe the beard's keeping me warm. I don't know. But 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 it's all you, babe. It's all you. Okay. You got to balance these things. Like I mentioned yesterday's reading, we talk about shadow work. Shadow work is your internal work. That's what the definition of it is. So there's no evil. There's no black magic. I don't believe in practicing black magic, because I'm not saying that black magic don't exist, because I can see it in the happening. Okay, black magic at the very base is manipulation. Okay, Aleister Crowley once walked down the road with a man. Aleister Crowley being a founder of the Golden Dawn, considered the wickedest man in the world. He once walked down the road with a man, and he said, "Let me show you about the power of," I think it was the power of intention or something like that. He saw this man walking, and Aleister Crowley copied the man's walk behind him. And Aleister Crowley did this for a little bit. Then Aleister Crowley fell to his knees, and reportedly, the man that he was copying fell to his knees too. And so I'm telling you that absolutely there exists such things as manipulation and tactics to get what you want in an evil way, but you don't have to do that. Okay, and you can be protected from that. Okay, now I would tell you that the easiest word that everybody throw out there that you might think something of is the word prayer. Okay, and maybe I need to include some time in my channel for prayer, but the easiest thing is prayer. You need a relationship with God. If you have that, Aleister Crowley could walk behind you and not drop you to your knees. Okay. If you have that, then anybody in the world can go and get any practitioner that they have to do whatever against you, whatever kind of spells, whatever kind of prayers, whatever kind of any of that. And see, it doesn't matter, because in the event of Aleister Crowley, he himself considered himself to be tied to something that was dark. And he himself considered himself to be tied to something that was not just unseen, but of the dark. Okay? He considered himself the wickedest man in the world. And I'm telling you that the wickedest man in the world can walk behind you and do every bit of whatever it is that he did on that street with that man. I can't think of that man's name. Probably another practitioner of the Golden Dawn. And he will not be able to faze you. He will not be able to touch you. Okay? But you have to do your shadow work. So you got to work on the things that you're scared to face, the parts of you that you don't want to see, the things of you that you shove down in the dark. You bring all that up. Right? You gotta dust out them cobwebs, and you gotta fold them clothes. If you do it, then you will find yourself in alignment with God. See, I find myself in a situation to where I walk through life, and I've gotten so accustomed to God, okay, that it started off years and years and years ago. And it's very simple. I'm able to identify the way that I think. I'm able to identify my own thoughts. And so when something comes through that isn't the way that I think, and that isn't my own thought, I pay attention. Now, it doesn't 100% mean that it's God right away. Okay? Hey, here's the reason why. It could be your ego. Okay? It could be your conscience. Okay? Could be the mind. All right? And the way that you know, this is the key second part. So I say I know my thoughts, but I know the way that I think. The way that you know is that the way that the voice of that thought comes in. Number one is different, But number two, will speak to you in a way that you don't think. It is something outside of yourself. And if you don't have that, I apologize, and I hope you get there, because it's very peaceful. You can be in the cold, living with ravens and shit, okay, and not be affected, okay? You can be knocked down, drug out, beat down, and have yourself, because over the past week, I've had several times where I didn't think I was going to make it, okay? But every time that I fell myself into the I'm not going to make it trap, it didn't matter. Because when I looked for backing, when I looked for something to have my back, I have God, okay? It doesn't matter who you are or where you're at. You can go through this. You can balance your good and evil, and you can do your shadow work, the parts of you that you don't want seen, the parts of you that you don't want to see. You have to show them, and you have to see them, okay? And that's where your power comes from, okay? Wickedest man in the world couldn't touch you, okay? Because once you go through that, that's what God wants you to do. And God's given you religious institutions. God's given you philosophy. God's given you therapy. God's given you science. Okay? Your avenues are open. The question is, do you have the nuts to go out there, face yourself, and deal with it? Okay? And if you do, cool. You'll be blessed. If you don't, you're going to be stuck right where you're at. And, you ain't gonna be moving on from shit. You get me? All right. Y'all have a good day. Take care.